Tonight, as high schoolers get closer to graduation, see how TOPS is affecting where they decide to attend college.
LSU spring break is nearly here. See how some students plan to spend their time off.
And meet a foreign LSU student rolling with the punches. Newsbeat starts right now.
It is Thursday, April 6th. I'm Brett Hauser.
And I'm Larissa Bonaquisti. Thanks for joining us.
The end of spring semester marks a busy time for high school seniors as they make their final preparations when it comes to college. For many Louisiana students, attending an in-state university seemed like a foregone conclusion, but with the current budget crisis, Tiger TV's Hunter Lovell tells us why some are considering crossing state lines.
It's been almost 10 months since Louisiana legislators voted to cut funding for TOPS. And for some high school seniors, that resolution proved to be the deciding factor in their college choice.
It really came down to money at the end of the day. My parents were very much like, we're not paying for your undergraduate.
Catholic high school senior Matthew Howell considered attending either LSU or South Carolina for his undergrad. But with the uncertainty that the full TOPS scholarship would ever be restored, he ultimately went with the Gamecocks.
I grew up with TOPS. I always figured like I was, at least through middle school and for most of my high school career, I'd been banking on, TOPS is automatically going to get it. I'm going to be able to get LSU for free. But then, obviously, with the budget crisis last year and such, that suddenly changed the picture a lot.
Matthew's mother, Miranda Howell, is Catholic High's librarian. She says her family wasn't prepared to stay in state if TOPS remained funded at just 70%.
I wouldn't give up a sure thing based off of TOPS because, like I said, as a resident of Louisiana, I'm not confident that TOPS is going to be available, so I can't let that be a factor in his decision.
Miranda says she's noticed an increase in the number of students going out of state. 18% of Catholic High's class of 2016 attended an out-of-state college, compared to just 11% from the class of 2015.
But I suspect if Louisiana can't get its TOPS funding, more students may be going out of state. They were very excited to have someone from LSU.
Matthew received enough scholarship money to close the gap in costs between the two universities. He says that if TOPS were to be reduced by any amount, staying in state just wouldn't make sense.
Whenever you're actually comparing apples to apples, at least with what I want to do in my case, LSU just didn't really stack up.
As lawmakers struggle to find ways to cover the $89 million shortfall for next year, many students, like Matthew, will continue to look elsewhere for college. For Tiger TV, I'm Hunter Lovell.
Earlier this week, 2 state representatives introduced bills that would raise the criteria for students to receive TOPS. Representatives Franklin Foyle and Gene Reynolds' proposals call for a minimum 3.0 GPA requirement.
Campus is soon to be deserted as students head off for spring break beginning Monday.
The beach always seems like the most popular and infamous destination for college students. But not everyone is trying to catch some rays.
Tiger TV's Max Merchant caught up with a few students on campus about their plans for the week off.
I'm going to Orange Beach for spring break.
I'm probably going to hang out with some friends and keep working and making some money.
I'm going to Cabo for spring break.
I'm going to be pulling some extra hours down at work.
I'm taking my husband to Florida. It's actually going to be his birthday. We're going to go to Destin and just spend some one-on-one quality time together.
The LSU College of Engineering held their inaugural Bengal Bot Brawl earlier this week. Students designed robots and battled it out in Patrick F. Taylor Hall. Tiger TV's Trey Cuvion recalls the robot rendezvous.
It was quite the mechanical spectacle in Patrick F. Taylor Hall, as 4 teams battled it out at LSU's first annual Bengal Bot Brawl. BattleBots nicknamed T-Swift, Atlas, Goliath, and Laura faced off on the battle stage for a chance to go to Atlanta.
So we want to win so we can go to the Atlanta, Georgia competition.
The rules? Pretty simple. Push the robot off the stage, or stop it from moving completely, and you win. Three of the 4 bots competing were actually designed for the engineering department's capstone program, where students get hands-on experience in designing projects.
And so looking through all the lists that we had, I was like, man, that sounds the coolest. I was like, something that can throw other robots around, slam them. So that's what what inspired me to pick the robot.
Mechanical engineering senior Ryan Morrow says his group designed their robot for the capstone project and says it was a lot of hard work.
So we put a lot of hours into our robot. We spent weekends meeting together, doing all the calculations necessary to make sure that our robot will function.
For Professor Demetrius Nikotopoulos, who runs the capstone program, he says for a teacher, it doesn't get much better than this.
Well, I don't think there's a greater satisfaction for a teacher to see his or her students perform, and that's what they're doing here.
But at the end of the day, only one bot can reign supreme, and it was Goliath that would have the last laugh this year. Reporting for Tiger TV News, I'm Trey Cuvion.
Students that participated in this year's event have been working on their robots since last semester.
Still ahead, a campus crawfish boil in celebration of another school year that has come and gone. We'll bring you the festivities.
We'll have more Newsbeat in 2 minutes.
LSU's Residence Hall Association hosted its annual RHA Crawfish Boil Wednesday night to celebrate another successful year and to have a little pre-spring break fun. Tiger TV's Stacy Broden attended and has more on the event.
The Residence Hall Association at LSU hosted its annual RHA Crawfish Boil to celebrate another successful year with on-campus residents.
My favorite thing is, to be honest, hanging out with friends.
The 459 Dining Hall helped RHA host an event where students enjoyed an evening hanging out with their friends and eating a variety of delicious food.
We have crawfish, but we also have LSU dining. And inside the 459, we have like jambalaya, we had hot dogs, hamburgers, nachos. There was really everything that you could imagine.
The RHA event planners work hard to make experiencing the event more than just free food for the students.
I was here last year just as a resident, and it's so much fun to like get to know everyone, get to dance to the music, and have fun games and all of that. So.
Merrill Bouye is a freshman RHA member, and his experience with the organization helps us understand what the group wants LSU students' experiences to be.
Ever since I've joined, I've never looked back. It's been a great experience. I'm glad I did this. I've learned so much. I've met many friends that I now hang out with through the program of RHA, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity they've given me.
Freshman Jalen Davis says he is thankful for RHA helping him find a home at LSU with events like this one.
Seeing all these new things and new people and stuff. But I like gain friends, gain knowledge and stuff. So I'm grateful for that.
In Louisiana, free crawfish is sure to bring a large group together, but RHA makes this experience mean so much more. For Tiger TV News, I'm Stacy Broden.
The Crawfish Boil was held at the 459 in LaVille Courtyard on campus. Another school year is coming to an end, and RHA is proud to celebrate a year of success.
The LSU Department of Geography and Anthropology is asking for students' input when it comes to weather and social media. The purpose of this survey is to improve communications during severe weather. Responses received will be compiled with data from several states, and any questions regarding the survey should be addressed to Dr. Barry Keem. If you're interested in taking the survey, we have tweeted out the link at LSU Tiger TV.
Through the Valley of Death, the newest exhibit at Hill Memorial Library has a lot more in common with LSU than just a few similar names. Tiger TV reporter Philip Fletridge has more.
Into the Valley of Death, an appropriate name for the new exhibit at Hill Memorial Library, highlighting World War I here in Louisiana and at LSU. Exhibit curator Leah Jouette is excited about the wide range of artifacts that the library has on display.
We hope that by showing all these things we can interest folks not only in World War I, but to see the range of materials that we have here in our special collections.
Newspapers from different Louisiana cities are a truly unique way to depict the war.
And in keeping with the home front theme, we have a number of reproduced Louisiana newspapers from around the state that describe issues going on with the war. When you read these newspapers, you see themes that we see in the newspapers today. For one big example is fear of immigrants. That's an overarching theme in these newspapers.
The most unique exhibit, however, are the personal stories from soldiers, such as Troy Middleton.
Was one of the two in the brigade in which we were in the 4th Division, that would lead off in the attack.
The Louisiana theme continues on the second floor. This part focuses more on LSU.
This case on the right features information about how LSU the efforts that LSU went through to commemorate the sacrifice made by Louisiana soldiers and specifically LSU soldiers. And on the right over there, you'll see some images from our Memorial Oak Grove, which still stands today behind the Union.
The highlight of this exhibit is the display on Troy Middleton that overlooks Middleton Library and the Memorial Tower. Be sure to stop in and check out this new and unique exhibit.
This particular exhibit will run through June 2nd. Hill Memorial Library is open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
BREC Summer Camp registration is officially open to the entire public. Registration for those that reside outside of East Baton Rouge Parish opened Tuesday and will run until all camp spots are full. Those that live in EBR Parish have been able to register since last week. BREC has been hosting summer camps focusing on athletics, science, and leisure for more than 4 decades. The camps are held throughout the summer at many of the nearly 200 BREC properties. Many parents rely on BREC camps and events throughout the summer while their children are out of school and not in the classroom daily.
That BREC offers, along with the athletic endeavors and educational opportunities, it is nice to know that the supervisors just won't be in the corner texting, but it's also that engagement that it offers with other kids in the community that they may not go to school with every day, but also with the adults or that teaching interaction.
After the break, we'll have the latest on Neil Gorsuch's Supreme Court confirmation.
That and other news out of our nation's capital when Newsbeat continues. We're back now with this week's political headlines. We begin at the Capitol, where tomorrow the Senate will take a final vote on Supreme Court nominee Neil Gorsuch. On Tuesday, Gorsuch did not receive the necessary 60 votes needed to be confirmed after Democrats successfully filibustered the appeals court judge. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will finally use the so-called nuclear option, which means Gorsuch will only need to capture 51 votes to be confirmed. 52 Republicans and 4 Democrats have already pledged their support to Judge Gorsuch.
The other, we will confirm Judge Gorsuch.
This judge will be on the Supreme Court sometime Friday night.
Once feared to be dead, health care reform is back in play as GOP lawmakers are trying to revive the American Health Care Act. Vice President Mike Pence has been holding meetings with legislators this week regarding revisions to the bill.
We continue to work earnestly with Congress for a new future on health care reform. And the President and I remain confident that working with the Congress, we will repeal and replace Obamacare with health care reform that will work for the American people and work for the American economy.
In what many experts are calling his biggest diplomatic week thus far as Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump is meeting with the Chinese president at his Mar-a-Lago estate today and tomorrow. It is expected that over these 2 days, North Korea and trade will be at the top of the list when the two leaders meet privately. Trump says that while China's help would be appreciated, the United States is not opposed to taking on Kim Jong-un alone. The president has had harsh words for China since early in his campaign. And finally, amid turmoil and controversy, House Intelligence Chairman Devin Nunes announced this morning that he would be stepping down from the ongoing Russia investigation. Lawmakers, including the committee's leading Democrat, had previously urged the representative to recuse himself and support today's decision.
With respect to the chairman's decision to step aside from the Russia investigation, I just want to express my appreciation for what the chairman decided to do. I'm sure it was a very difficult decision for him, but as he mentioned, I think it is in the best interest of the investigation. It will, I think, allow us to have a fresh start moving forward.
That's what is happening in Washington this week. Back to Larissa at the desk.
Thanks, Brett. And as for Louisiana, Governor John Bel Edwards is continuing to discuss flood relief in the wake of last August's disaster. Governor Edwards spent much of Wednesday in Washington testifying in front of the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform regarding FEMA assistance following 2016's widespread flooding. The governor spoke positively about the federal government's response to his state.
Given the concerns that we had, I would say that it was largely successful. Certainly not perfect. We would much rather have engaged in much better repairs in terms of not being limited to temporary repairs, for example.
Prior to the governor's trip to Washington, he traveled to the Alexandria area to survey the damage caused by last weekend's severe storms. Edwards issued a state of emergency for much of central Louisiana after the area saw flooding, winds reaching 80 miles per hour, and even a few scattered tornadoes.
Coming up after the break, he's an international LSU student with an addiction to fighting. Welcome back. I'm Sports Director Max Hawkins. Let's face it, a big reason people come to LSU is because we have a great football program. But have you ever heard of someone moving to Baton Rouge because the city has a good MMA gym? Well, that's one reason why this international student decided to become a Tiger.
International LSU student George Frangie doesn't drink or smoke. His drug of choice is mixed martial arts, something he calls a healthy obsession.
I could do this all day, every day, you know. It's I don't get bored of it. It's like an adrenaline rush you can't really get anywhere else, you know.
Frangie was born in Suriname, a small country on the northeastern coast of South America. He came to the U.S. when he was 18 to get a good education. He picked LSU because he has family in Louisiana.
We don't have many people in the States, so coming close to family was like a good choice, and there's like a good school here.
Frangie started kickboxing when he was 14 years old to initially just get in good shape.
I went on a cruise ship on vacation, gained like 30 pounds in a week. I went from 210 to like 240. I was like, man, it's enough. Like the second I got back home, like I stopped cold turkey, I almost stopped eating. I started training like all day and night. Whenever I wasn't studying, whenever I wasn't like sleeping, I was training.
His training quickly turned serious though. 10 years later, Frangie's preparing for his second professional fight. He says the ultimate goal is to pursue a normal line of work, but until then, his gloves are staying on.
I put a lot of time into this, so like trying to see what I can get out of it while I'm in my prime, while I'm in like young years, you know. I would like to see how far I can take this, and after that, just resume my construction and architecture career.
His training partner, Mike Boyd, says Frangie's dedication will lead to big things down the road.
He's a freak. Like he doesn't take a day off. His days off, he's like swimming laps at LSU at the pool. Like that's his off day.
Frangie's next fight is May 13th at the Belle of Baton Rouge Casino.
Now, Frangie told me he sparred once with UFC fighter Dustin Poirier shortly after joining the gym. He says Poirier went pretty tough on him, but he earned his respect, and then they became close friends. LSU pitcher Jared Poche had the chance to pitch in the majors when he was drafted last season by the San Diego Padres. However, the ace wanted one last chance to win a title for the Tigers. Reporter Kenna Wilson has more.
On June 12, 2016, LSU fans cheered on the Tigers as they took on Coastal Carolina for their NCAA Super Regional 2-game series. Tiger fans stood on their feet clapping, assuming this is the last time they would watch starter pitcher Jared Poche pitch at Alex Box Stadium. After getting drafted in the 14th round of the 2016 MLB draft by the San Diego Padres, Poche made a difficult decision and decided to forego his professional career and return to play for one more national championship with the Tigers.
If he could have seen the smile on my face, I was really happy because deep in my heart I knew that he was making the right decision, not just for our team but for himself.
The 6'1", 210-pound pitcher is now the Tigers' left-handed Saturday night starter, following the Tigers' Friday right-hand pitcher Alex Lang, who is also predicted to be a top-round pick in the 2017 MLB draft. On the 2017 opening weekend against Army, Poche completed a doubleheader sweep with 7 no-hit innings, capturing LSU's 2,500th win. Poche became LSU's 6th no-hitter in school history and the first individual no-hitter since March of 1979.
One game won, and then game 2 happened, and the rest is history. It's crazy. Still can't put that into words, and it's still crazy.
Poche continued to dominate on the mound throughout the season, striking out 31 batters, only allowing 29 hits and only 2 home runs. For the 3rd time this season, Poche has been awarded the SEC Pitcher of the Week. Since 2007, when Paul Mainieri took the head coaching position at LSU, Poche has become the first 4-year starting pitcher under Coach Mainieri.
He's just been such a treasure to coach throughout his 4-year career here. And we're very fortunate to have him back for his 4th year. As you know, he's just been one of the best pitchers, one of the best human beings, great teammate, and really just epitomizes everything that you want in a player.
With nearly half of the season left to play, Jared Poche continues to help carry the Tigers one step closer to Omaha in his final season. For Tiger TV Sports, I'm McKenna Wilson.
Poche is again expected to be a high first-round draft pick during the MLB draft on June 12th. He'll take the mound again this Saturday against Arkansas. Now, if you work at Tiger TV, you know that I'm a big professional wrestling fan. On Sunday night, WWE hosts its annual WrestleMania event. It's been called the Super Bowl of Pro Wrestling, and one of the greatest characters in company history, The Undertaker, retired after a 33-year career in the ring. The dead man lost his final match and then left his gear in the ring before walking up the ramp one last time to pose for the crowd. So, Undertaker, from me to you, I want to wish you well in your retirement. You can sit on the couch, relax, do whatever you want, and I'll tell you, like you told many of your opponents throughout the years, you can now rest in peace.
When we return, see what happened on this day in history.
You're watching Newsbeat.
And that's going to do it for us tonight. A programming note, we will be off air next week due to spring break, but we'll return when school resumes. Until then, you can follow us on social media and online at lsunow.com. I'm Larissa Bonaquisti.
And I'm Brett Hauser. Thanks for watching and have a fun and safe week off.